ask Mark the question before you jumped on, and I know you guys have had plenty of discussions about coaching staff changes, but what would you rate as far as likelihood this is Scott Frost's last game? I would say it's probably pretty low, but I mean, what are the chances in your mind that this is his last game coaching at Nebraska?
Zero.
Wow.
0. Yeah. No, he's back for next year. Yeah. That's why they restructured they totally restructured his contract to allow for that. So
there you go, Mark.
If you ask me this question a year from now, probably a way different answer if the records are similar.
And how much of that do you attribute to the fact that he is the I don't want to say the promised Messiah, but the favorite son? I mean, if this was totally different, I mean, if this was Luke Fickell here or Mike Riley, I guess you could say, the same position, having experienced the same record and the way they've been losing, would he be out of here?
Probably. Yeah. I mean, especially with Trev Alberts being a new AD, I think Trev would go out there and get his guy. But no, they have, the two of them have established a friendship and a very good working relationship, and they both want the same thing. So that's why you're seeing another year out of Scott Frost, and Trev Alberts knows you have to give him time. You can't just come in and keep chopping guys off after, I mean, Mike Riley he didn't get a great chance he didn't prove himself while he was here, obviously. But he didn't get the allotted amount of time that you really need to do to establish, your team with 4 years of your own recruits coming in. And Trev knows that. So, and especially with the way that Nebraska has played all year long, they've been right there in every single game, since week 0 against Illinois, obviously. But they've been right there. And that shows you that there is progress, even though the record doesn't show that. In years past, those were mostly blowouts. Now
they've played Ohio State. They played Ohio State closer than just about anybody. They played Michigan State and Michigan. I mean, their schedule. I'll say this: their schedule is
Oklahoma
ridiculous.
Too. You don't forget Oklahoma. And 2 of those are on the road, and 2 were at home. So they play everybody tough, and that's why this line, you see, it's a 1-point game right now on the line, and Vegas knows they know what they're talking about, because Nebraska's not going to lay down, obviously, and they want to let Coach Frost get a win here, just to make things feel a little bit better, just to finish out the season, and then you have to start thinking about how many of these super seniors actually come back, because obviously you guys just got done with your senior day. Nebraska's senior day is Friday, and it's going to be kind of an odd senior day when you see these guys come out to do their, to be honored as a senior, and they might be back next year. I mean, JoJo Doman did that last year, and he came back. Ben Stilley did that. He came back. So, I mean, it's going to be odd, and we're going to be quite frankly, we're going to be dealing with this for the next 3 to 4 years, almost, because all these guys have an extra year in their back pocket right now.
I mean, what have you heard any rumblings about Adrian? I mean, is there a chance he returns?
Yeah, Coach Frost has now twice in a row has gone out on record saying he wants him back. Now the question is, does Adrian Martinez want to come back and deal with this again? Because obviously, Mark and I have talked about this, but I mean, hey, the quarterback at Nebraska, it's a tough job. The head coach at Nebraska is a tough job, but that quarterback, he takes all the blame and he gets all the accolades. And for 3 years now, it's been a lot of blame. And all those people that obviously, if you watch our show, there's all kinds of rumblings every week about put Logan Smothers in, and okay, you people just got your wish. Now let's see what happens. And
sounds like our Iowa shows.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You get it. But yeah, I mean, Adrian, he's been asked that question a couple times now here lately, and his standard answer has been, I don't know. I'm going to take some time and think about it after the season's over. Well, now his season's over, so I'm sure that's probably something that's going through his head right now, and maybe he feels like he's letting his guys down by missing this Iowa game too. Maybe that is something that he wants to come back and prove, and maybe come back for another year. And you know what? He's already rewritten the record books at Nebraska already. And I think missing this Iowa game, he's going to miss out on a couple of those records now that he probably would have had. But he's had a fantastic career, and my goodness, if he's healthy and he's not being mentioned as a draftable guy, but which I think he is. I mean, if he's in the NFL draft, I think he's going to get drafted. So it's hard to read it right now. It really
this is just me. I'd come back if I'm Adrian Martinez, given how close they've been. If they can go out next year with a much more favorable schedule next year and win, even if it's just 6 or 7 games, his draft stock to me goes up naturally. I mean, whether that's fair or not, he's not a running back. Nope. I mean, his obviously longevity is important at any position in the league, but I'd come back if I'm him. And I will throw one more thing out there, and I'm sure Mark wants to interject here at some point. It doesn't look like Matt Hankins will play this weekend for Iowa at corner.
Yeah.
Terry Roberts is not on the depth chart. It sounded like from Kirk's press conference Saturday that Terry has a chance, so maybe he'll still suit up, but he was not on the 2-deep today. I believe this is the first appearance, and I could be wrong. Somebody will probably rip me for this later. But Cooper DeJean showed up on the 2-deep at corner today, which I believe is his first appearance, and there's a lot of hype around him. He just played, I believe, his 5th game, so his people were kind of whining about this yesterday. Why did we waste his red shirt on special teams Saturday? And I kind of said the same thing. I don't really know why, although Iowa was down 2 of their best gunners on special teams, and that might explain it. But anyway, it sounds like he's going to potentially be in line to get some time if anybody else goes down. But with Roberts and Hankins both out, I know Smothers, you said he's more of maybe a running type quarterback, but if he's going to be able to throw the ball downfield at all, he's going to have an opportunity with 2 guys who have shown their weaknesses on double cuts and just double moves, things down the field deep. I mean, Moss and Jamari Harris have both they've found themselves on the wrong end of deep balls this year, and Moss has had a lot of hype, but I think he's been a little bit overhyped. I think he's got great hands. The ball comes his way, he's going to pick it off every time. Don Patterson said the same thing. A little bit overrated. I think he's got a chance of maybe coming back next year as a super senior, and I think he should, because I think he's got some room for improvement. And he's coming off an injury. He's got a big brace on his right knee. So it will be interesting to see if they can attack downfield against these Iowa defensive backs. It's good news for Iowa that Jack Kerner at free safety is back this week. That will help a lot as well. Iowa's still down there starting left tackle Mason Richmond. Looks like Jack Plum will get the start again there. So, this is late in the season. We're expecting injuries. The biggest injury is obviously Adrian Martinez. And I think as far as just an attitude or chip on your shoulder standpoint heading into Monday, so like last night, I think no question Iowa could play the disrespect card. You're the ranked team. You've won this series. You won this game 6 years in a row. There's absolutely no reason why Iowa shouldn't have been favored. But now with the line switching, I think Nebraska has an opportunity to at least play I don't want to say disrespect card for them, but play that underdog card, because people are going to start counting them out without Adrian. And like I say, you never know, especially with some of the rumblings. I know you say there's a 0% chance of Scott being gone, and I'd say it's pretty close to that. Again, you're much closer than I am to that program. But I'm sure there are players on this roster who love Scott Frost. And so this is their postseason, Mark. This is their postseason, their opportunity to be able to prove something and get behind a kid who could be the future at quarterback.
Yeah, you know what? I don't, like I said earlier, they're not going to change the playbook for Logan Smothers. They're still going to take their shots deep. because they've got a lot of weapons to use, and especially they're going to attack a weakness. So yeah, I mean, with Samari Torre going nuts, and you still got Omar Manning, who's a very capable receiver, and you got Xavier Betts, who's been coming on, Keegan Johnson's former teammate at Bellevue West. So you have a powerful receiving core, and Austin Allen at tight end, 6'9" tight end, who just had a 140-some yard game against Wisconsin. I mean, Nebraska's got all kinds of weapons that they're gonna throw at Iowa, especially when the running back room is in question right now at Nebraska. They're banged up. Rivera Johnson probably not going to play again. Savion Morrison is in the transfer portal. So you're probably going to see some more Marquis Step. Marvin Scott, who played a lot and played pretty well against Wisconsin, he'll be playing some too at back. Brody Belt played well. He's a walk-on out of Omaha Skutt. So that running back room's a mystery right now. Going in, Jacques Yant's kind of been in the doghouse lately. You don't know if you'll see him. So I mean, the strength of that Nebraska offense, obviously, right now is that receiving core. So they're not gonna hold back much, if at all, just because Adrian Martinez is not there.